'Tis the season for the holidays, and it's time for some holiday baking, and cookies are the best. To make these peppermint cookies, which look so festive, start with 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 1/4 teaspoons baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon baking soda, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Whisk, 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 and set that aside. For the wet ingredients, you'll need half a cup or a stick of butter, softened at room temp, and 3/4 of a cup of white granulated sugar. Go ahead and excuse yourself with using an electric mixer. Come on, it's the holidays, so don't stand over there in the kitchen and use those non-electric tools. So beat it on medium speed, but start with low. Should take about 3 to 4 minutes for the butter and sugar to be really light, fluffy, and creamy, and it should look almost white or pale yellow. This is a really crucial step to making cookies. Then add 1 egg and a 1/4 teaspoon of peppermint extract. Usually markets have them on sale in these days. Then beat it again until fully combined, and don't forget to scrape down the sides of the bowls frequently so everything gets mixed through. So what do you want for Christmas? I just want to know. For me, I want those holiday or snowman themed measuring cups. It looks so festive and cute. Now add all of the dry ingredients directly into the butter mixture and gently use the mixer to spread the flour around first, and then turn on your mixer at low speed. Don't be surprised to get flying flour everywhere because that will happen. Don't worry if the mixture looks crumbly at first, because once you beat for another 2 to 3 minutes, the cookie dough will come together nicely. You can gradually increase the speed as you go along. When there's almost no flour seen, switch the hand mixer to a spatula and thoroughly mix everything well. Then add 1/4 cup of chocolate chips. I'm using mini semi-sweet ones. Add it to the dough and fold them in. I have a small spatula, so it was really hard for me to mix the dough. Alright, so let me tell you about my winter vacation this year. First of all, I couldn't get this video uploaded on Christmas because I was traveling, but I loved it. So for our vacation this winter, my family and I went to Canada for our first time, and we explored many places there. And please comment below if you want to see my travel video that has some photos I took, and I also talk further in detail about my trip. Okay, back to baking. So here I'm just taking a 1 1/2 tablespoon cookie scooper to scoop a cookie out and placing it onto the baking tray lined with parchment paper. These look so pretty already. And lastly, garnish with 2 or 3 more chocolate chips on the cookies. Then go ahead and bake them off at 350 degrees Fahrenheit preheated oven for around 12 minutes. While the cookies are baking, let's prepare the crushed candy canes. It's real simple. Just take 2 candy canes, break them into smaller slices, then place them into a plastic bag. Using a rolling pin, bang the candy canes until they have been broken down into smaller pieces. It shouldn't be the size of a pea because that's too big, just smaller than that. When the cookies are done baking, take them out of the oven and then place them onto a cooling rack. After 10 minutes of cooling the cookies, you can start preparing the frosting, which is just half a cup of powdered sugar, sifted, and 3 to 4 tablespoons of milk or heavy cream. You can add just a tiny splash or drop of peppermint extract to make a peppermint frosting, which I recommend you doing that. The frosting should be runny yet thick. Then apply about a teaspoon of the frosting on top of each cooled cookies. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to top the cookies with the crushed candy canes. Wait for about 30 minutes for frosting to set, then you can give them away. So I love the way how the chocolate chips and the mint flavor paired really well together. Also, that peppermint icing tasted better with the cookies and it fits the holiday mood. So try these cookies. It's the only time you'll ever be able to bake them.